So we had a look at the rigging phase, and after rigging comes animation. So I will go with you through the agenda of my presentation. So first of all, I'm going to introduce myself, the company, and I hope I'm not going to repeat too much of what Sam mentioned earlier. Presenting the project as well, Violet, a bit of context. We will go through some advices about how to get up to speed in animation on Houdini. And we will go through the step of creating a shot and the process of working on a scene. And at the end, I will go through the challenges and the benefits I've been confronted to shift from animating on Maya, from Maya to Houdini. And then we're gonna have the conclusion and a few questions if you want to. So let's go. Who am I? As Sam mentioned, I'm so Nicolas Seck, but people call me Nico, so feel free to call me Nico. I'm the animation director at REALTIME UK. I've been working in the animation industry for 30 years across lots of studios, mainly in London, actually. I worked 6 years in Paris before. And my experience comes across various types of projects, from VFX, high-profile movies, to commercials, video games, and feature animation as well. So quite a big baggage of experience. And yeah, I've been driving the animation at REALTIME for the last 5 years. And on that job, I'm managing pretty much everything. So I'm supervising most of the shows. I'm taking care as well of the recruitments. So if you are animators and you want to join us, you'll have to have a bit of word with me. That would be great. And I'm dealing as well with the research and development, trying to find the best tools around to enhance the level and the quality of the work we are doing. So my background initially is from an artistic background. I wanted to be a graphic novel artist initially. So I did a school in Belgium, and then I discovered CG, and I felt, wow, that's the thing I want to do. So I studied at Superinfocom, which is now called Rebecca. And I was 95, so quite some time ago. And that's the thing. At the time, I've learned on 3D Studio. For those who knows, that's not really an animation software, but you know, you go from the basics to more elaborate stuff. And so 3D Studio, then shifting to 3ds Max, and a few years later, learning Maya. And a month ago, Houdini. Yes, and you will think, this guy is a scam. He's gonna do a lecture about Houdini. It's been just a month he's been working on it. And that's the thing which is interesting. So never stop learning, that's all I can say. Here are a few shows I've been working on. So, you know, you got a bit of movies, some video game trailers, some cinematics. So that show a bit the spectrum of the array of work I've been working on. So now a bit of words on REALTIME UK, which is a company based in the northwest of England. As I mentioned, we have a studio in Westby. That's the name he didn't want to say, which is between Blackpool, that's quite famous, and Preston. But it's lost in the countryside between sheep and donkeys. But that helps you to focus on the work. And then we have a studio in Manchester. We used to have one in London, but that's finished because we shuffled things around. We have about 100 staff members, and we can ramp up to 150 or plus sometimes, depending on the type of show we are working on. And in my animation team, I've got 30 animators, so it's fairly big. And in that team, I've got 2 Danish, and one of them studied here. So familiarized with the VBorg vibe. Yeah, so in terms of project, what we are doing is video games, so video game trailers mostly, high-end stuff, and video game cinematics. We do visual effects for film and mostly episodic. And then we have the automotive part on which I'm not involved at all. So I'm concentrating mainly on the games and the film aspect. Plus we have some side projects as well, which are more like educational or sometimes even advertisements. It's more rare, but we are trying to explore different ways as well. So the great thing about real-time, I feel, is the variety, the diversity of type of project. For the style of animation, from realist to stylized, and as well the type of clients we are working with. So it's really fun company to work with. So I'm gonna show you our animation reel. So it's not gonna be exactly the same thing as Sam mentioned earlier. So here we go. Thank you. A big variety of type of projects and styles, as you can see. I wanted to say something, I forgot. So let's jump on the next one. Yeah, I wanted to say that on this wheel, there's animations done on 3ds Max and on Maya. So far, no Houdini stuff, but the Houdini part is about the rendering and the effects simulation that we are using quite extensively. And some of you might know some of our artists, as Graham, who's quite prominent in the Houdini field. So a great guy to work with, like the others, by the way. So Project Violet. Yeah, Side Effects had the generosity to offer us this opportunity to work on a project to kind of present a style which is closer to what we are used to do at Real-Time, which is kind of a high-end cinematic, trailer for video games. So with high details and atmospheres, with as well realistic type of animation. As Sam mentioned, a big part of the team was coming from the Level Up program, and they had the support as well of some of our senior artists. And for the production on its own, it was, if you condense everything, it was about 2 to 3 months altogether. People were working on and off between projects and when we had time, basically, except at the end where we focused to really get it out. And in terms of animation, so the idea of doing this project for me was to see how Houdini was usable in our workflow for an animation process. As I said, a month ago, nothing. I just knew the name, so it was really a big exploration for us. So I wanted to keep the knowledge in the company, so I didn't want to hire a freelancer who would know Houdini. I wanted for us to develop, to see how long it would take, and so I appointed one of our animators to do hand keyframe work on this show, Alex. But Alex got a great idea to become a dad during the show. So we had to let him take care of his baby, and we were short of animators, so I had to jump on the show, and that's where I've been confronted to the challenge of learning enough of the software to be able to do the work and get it on. Bearing in mind that I was still supervising 2 shows at the time, and I was quite busy. So yeah, that was as well an opportunity for us to kind of review what we had done so far and see where we would go from there. So we decided to review the narration, the direction basically, and as well to try a new approach for some shots which were quite far from being efficient enough. So as I was working on another project where I needed to do some mockup shoots, we had the idea to do a bit of this mockup session for the project Violet, and it was a good idea to test our 2 workflows that we use most of the time, so hand keyframe animation, but as well motion capture adjusted. So a great opportunity to jump in those 2 styles. So for what you've seen, I know you haven't seen, well, yeah, you have seen it earlier, but I'll show you just after, sorry. Yeah, so mostly is mockup, but you got some parts which are still hand keyframe animated, which is the drone. When you have the close-up of the feet of Violet with the puddle, and when she's throwing the grenade as well, because that's something we did after in the narration. All right, so here is the mockup system that we've been using. We have an XN suit at the office, which is very flexible. It's a markerless suit, so you can basically walk anywhere you want, as long as you are within the range of the Wi-Fi, because it works with Wi-Fi system, and it's very flexible, so you can do acrobacy, jump, and you know, she's jumping on the bonnet of a car. So I had to do a bit of acrobacy at the office, which was quite fun. A bit of physical activity after sitting all day long in front of a desk. So here we go, Project Violet. It's really cool on big screen. I love it. All right, so learning Maya. How do I do? I have to ingest tons of information in no time. And thankfully, I found a few tutorials which were really, really helpful. So if any one of you wants to jump in the Houdini field, I highly recommend, well, obviously the tutorials of side effects, which are quite didactic, but as well the workshop, animation workshop from Warren Lytham. It's about 2 hours of segments of each section for the different types of animation tools, etc. Very, very useful, quite dense. So it took quite some time to absorb all that, but yeah, very, very good. And he's done as well a lecture in Paris last year for Houdini 20.5, which lasted about half an hour, and as well, very interesting, lots of tips and tricks. And I had the support, obviously, of our Houdini experts, so thank you, Sam. And Abe as well, he mentioned that guy earlier, very, very helpful. That was as well an opportunity for us to list all the queries, the questions that we had regarding our habits from Maya, asking to side effects how to do stuff, and as well proposing some suggestions. So that's something I'm going to share with them soon. Just it would be a bit of organization, but yeah, I think it's going to help to shape Houdini for more options for animation in the future. All right, so let's go into detail for the project. So I'm gonna go with you through the interface. So this is more to guide the people who wants to go into animation, not knowing really much about Houdini, knowing where to look at, because that's the thing, you know, when you have a brand new interface, you can be quite lost. So I will go with you through the interface, the points that were really useful for me. I will cover the object mode, which is the very particular aspect of Houdini compared to other software. And we'll have a look at the animation pane tabs, which are basically the tools, extra tools from Houdini, and some aspects of the menu which are quite useful. One thing I really appreciated on Houdini was the customizability. Sorry for the way to say that, but basically the flexibility of the software to reorganize the windows the way which are the more suitable for your needs. And it has a system of arrows where you can open, close, or switch as well windows. So it's really flexible on that aspect. And another aspect is you can access to several functions through various ways. So again, you can make your own workflow through this way. And it was funny because when I was chatting with some of our experts, they kind of discovered some ways to do things through the way I've discovered. So a very interesting way to see that you get multiple paths to access to your destination, basically. So let's deep into the interface. Is it playing? Yes, it does. So I'm going to start by showing you something which is not Houdini based, which is the integration of our pipeline in the interface, which I think is quite interesting to see that it's flexible to integrate pipelines from companies. So we have our own tools that have been developed over the course of the last 2-3 years. So the basic asset management tools like opening, saving scenes, of course, updating the scene description, that's the thing, to update the scene, and creating flipbook that you can connect directly with ShotGrid, so all the company can review whatever is exported. Here I'm displaying the kind of presets that are existing by fields, but as well you can create your own presets. So I've got my Nico anim, so every time I was clicking on that, bang, it was showing me the windows the way I wanted. Here you get on top right, so you get a form of filtering where you can hide elements that you don't want to have in your scene. So on this one, it was the ground. Sometimes I wanted to hide it, but it's mostly when she was in the city, you have all the buildings which are blocking the view. So that's quite practical on that aspect. What am I showing here? Maybe because I've split the, yeah, probably I'll try to catch up. I've split the view, so yeah, on the top right, you can split in different views. Usually, I work with two views, the camera on top and the perspective view on the bottom, and a floating animation editor. So I think this video is done, yep. So let's check the left bar. The left bar, I'm gonna accelerate a bit because there's some redundant stuff. Sorry, I should have prepared that a bit better. But when you don't have time, you do what you can. So here I'm displaying the hints. So on these 4 panels on the top, you get some, it's kind of big sections for several animation parts. So you get the animate, which is the basic mode, the locator creation, I think there's constraint, there's ragdoll as well. And every time you click on one of those modes, it displays basically the hints that are corresponding to this mode. On the left side, you have the basic and the most useful part, which is the transformer. So translation, rotation, scale. When you know these things, you can animate. On the bottom left, you get the flipbook, which is to generate your animation in a front, in real-time view, basically. So there's lots of great options on this flipbook, particularly for the preset of frame range, which I found really interesting. And obviously, you can edit your own section. So yeah, you can decide which view you're gonna look at. So yeah, more options, like here it's for audio. The effects, so you can activate the motion blur, which enhance the quality of your animation by making it more flowing in a more fluid way. And you have as well the adjustment of the resolution. And it's pretty fast, at least for this project. I felt it was pretty fast to generate these playblasts. Playblast, that's the word for the people who are used to Maya, but flipbook here in Houdini. So the right bar, so right side basically. That's more about the display stuff. It's quite important for animation because that's a way to reduce the time-consuming processes. So here I'm playing on the lighting system, so you can have flat lighting, which doesn't consume anything. Then you can generate shadows. You get different type of lighting mode. And I think here, yeah, I'm activating the occlusion mode, which is quite important when you have some collisions happening. So here she's putting the hand on the bonnets, but as well when she's running to make sure that the feet have proper contact with the ground and nothing is floating. Yeah, and you get lots of options to filter the view, where you can, so that for the viewport, and you get the same thing but for the flipbook only. So you can work with, as you see, all your controllers, but then if you create the flipbook, you don't have to switch them off. You can just make your flipbook and it will automatically hide what you don't want to see, which makes it a faster process. Okay, so the lower part, and don't worry, there's only 4 sides on the screen, so we are nearly done with the presentation of the interface. So the lower part is more about the time flow. So the usual play, stop, rewind, whatever. You can frame by frame. You can move frame by frame, and then you can move as well keyframe by keyframe. On the right click of the timeline, you have lots of options, classic ones, but it's always good to see that they are available. And there are few options as well, which are interesting, like the cycle. The thing I found really good was this create bookmark. There's something similar on Maya, but somehow I felt it was much more flexible, this one. So basically, you create a range, you select a range of frames, and you create your bookmark, and it's going to have this bar on the bottom. If you click on it, it's going to reframe your timeline just for this bookmark, and you can have multiple bookmarks on your timeline. So the scene I'm working on at the moment, it's basically 3 shots combined in one master scene. So I could have these bookmarks for each of my shots, and you can re-edit it very easily. Here I'm manipulating the keyframes on the timeline directly. So you can shift, obviously, copy paste, duplicate things, very useful. On the right, yeah, you get this option of auto keyframes, which I'm keeping all the time on, because every time you move your controllers, it's going to set a keyframe. You don't have to think about it and set keyframe, which, by the way, is the K keyboard thing. It's the bottom left, so you get this option of some tools which are kind of close to some that you can find on Animbot for those who are familiarized with this tool on Maya. And that's great that Side Effects has incorporated some of these tools directly in the software, so it's well integrated, it's working fine. I'm gonna have to investigate more in this, because I'm sure it's gonna enhance the quality of our work. And the bottom right, so this one is a bit obscure to me, but all I know is that it had to be on auto update, otherwise it was messing up my scenes, deleting some scene for some reason, or having the impression I was animating and nothing was recorded. So auto update, put it. The main view, almost done on this one, almost. Is it playing? Yes, it is. So you need to assess the view you want to look at. So on this case, I've got three cameras, which are USD cameras for this show. Can select them easily. You have various options as well. You can access as well to the ortho views if you want to check in how your character is evolving in the world in ortho views. So front, side, top, whatever you need is there. What am I playing at? Display, okay. Yeah, you got X-rays, which can be useful as well to see through some of your characters or props. Framing all, yeah, obviously, it's depending what you want to see in your view. You want to quickly see the object you're working with, or the whole scene to see how it fits. And what is it? It's beautiful, huh? Oh yeah, that's quite important, this one. It's the animate settings. So here you get the mode where you see which transformers is used for the gizmo. So currently I've got the global gizmo, which includes everything, but you can isolate translation, rotation, or scale. And at the bottom, you have the alignments. So that changed the way your axes are being displayed. It's quite visual, so that's great. And what I love is that there is the option of screen view axis. So you can move your object in the view you are using. This option, the change mode automatically, was something I found at the end, and it would have been really useful to find that earlier. It's basically, if you don't have that activated, every time you click on a different controller, controller, it will change back the gizmo to the global. But sometimes you just want to translate some controllers across various controllers. So let's say the hand, I want to translate it, and then the other hand. Every time I was clicking on the other hand, it was going back to the global transformer, which is a bit, it's a bit messy to find the right axis. So having this option switched off was really good. So it was preserving what I wanted to work with. If I just wanted to do translation, it was staying on translation. All right. Yeah, still busy. Yeah, the second window which had been displayed was about the, how do you say that? The manual numbers. Basically, you can, it's the channel, you can type numbers directly to set your keys. The right one is the selection set. That's something I really like. It's very flexible, very clear, very practical. You can reorganize your structure the way that is the most intuitive for you, or if you have some set of controllers that you animate regularly, you can have them accessible very quickly this way. Then I went back on the animation setting on the bottom left to go through all the different options. So you got a motion path there that you can display, and it's quite fast, which is great, and manipulable as well. You can act directly on the keyframes which are featured there. Is it finished, this video? Yep, it is. Okay. So that's my nightmare. The object mode, that's the thing which made me a bit scared of Houdini when I saw that. And it's an essential part of the logic of Houdini. So it has to be well organized. And luckily enough, Abe was a tidy person. So he could set up color modes for being clear about what I needed to look at. You got lots of nodes which have specific options, obviously. The publishing node, playblasting node as well. And here we got a switch which was allowing me to switch between either the mockup animation or the hand keyframe animation. So I could refer to what was done previously and make sure that everything was aligned the way it should be. And here I'm clicking on the switch so for displaying basically different variations of the characters. So it could be a level of definition, but in this case, Violet came with her puffy jacket, which when you animate, first of all, it's very slow and it can be hiding some effect of the silhouette, plus it's going to be simulated at the end. So I was working without the code so that I could easily switch it on and off. So this node editor is something which contains lots of information. For instance, so it works by scene animate nodes, like the one I'm clicking is a scene animate 1. And for the mockup, it's scene animate 2. And each of these scene animate were containing the specific information for the animation layers or the selection set that were separated for each of them. Basically, I couldn't access necessarily the layers of the hand keyframe to the mockup. So things were quite tidy this way. You can have, to some degree, 2 scenes in one, if you want. And here I'm displaying the variations of the animation layers, I think, comparing with the other scene. Yeah, that's it. All right. And then the animation pan tabs. So, is it playing? Sorry, yeah. It's not very obvious. Okay, yeah, it does. So on the top of the window, you get this plus, which gives you the access to many tools, and you get some specifics for animation that I'm just reviewing now. The classic one is the Animate editor, which allows you to see the animation curves of your controllers. So whatever you're selecting will be displayed in this window. It's quite flexible. You can tear it off and make it the size you want, obviously, but you put it where you need. So if you have 2 screens, you can have it in a way it doesn't disturb your view. And you get lots of options, classic options from if you are used to Maya. So it displays the curves that are of the controller, which are on the right animation layer. So be mindful about that. If you don't see your curves, they'll probably be on another layer. So on the left, you get the breakdown of the different transformation nodes, like rotation in this case, and below it's translation, and everything is breakdown by axis. We can manipulate the handles as well to have spline tangents or linear tangent. That was the example I was just showing here. And reframe your curves depending on what you want to see on your view. Here I'm just displaying the apex selection set, which is very similar to the one which is floating on the window. It has few more options. Personally, I didn't use it too much, this one. I was mostly focusing on the floating one. But it was to investigate on this one to make the most benefit of the tools offered by Houdini. So here I'm going through the animation layer, Apex system as well. So a very messy scene here. I've got tons of animation layers, but that's my way of working. I like to be focused on specific parts, adjusting them so I can switch them on and off. You can isolate your layers to see how it plays. So here I'm just isolating the base of the animation, which is the raw mockup with the global adjustments. So I can refer to how it was looking like and see what's been the journey to get to the end product. Screen grab is bad. My options are out of frame, but I wanted to have a look at some other options, which are basically, it was the character picker and the pose library, which I haven't been able to make it work in due time, but again, that's very useful tools to have when you have time to prepare. That's always a problem of jumping on the show with no time. You have to focus on what needs to be done, and you don't have always the luxury to benefit from all the positive aspects of the software. So now we are done with the technical aspect, and let's jump into animation process. So I'll show you the previews that was displayed to me by Sam when he talked to me about this project. So this preview was done with some Maximo or Minimo, whatever, the range of animations, and we collected few stuff as well we had in our library. It was just to have an idea of how we would present this show and to think about how to allocate the time, how we would approach basically the show. Explain it again, of course. And then, so I'm gonna go through the process of animating either in hand keyframe, sorry, and then it's gonna be mockup. So you start with the previews, as we've just seen. We shoot references, we select them, put them on backplate to see how it's flowing in our scenes, and then by iteration you go from blocking, and from there it's already a good opportunity to speak with the rigger to give feedback, how to improve stuff, making better skinning as we mentioned earlier, or adding some controllers when it's possible. And then by iteration, animation pass 1, animation pass 2, and then you tweak until the final pass. And keeping in mind that this stop at animation pass 1, that's when Alex got his baby, so we don't have further iteration for this one. So another aspect is that during the course of working on these shots from early stage, we do some what we call caching. Also, it generates an export for the next departments, lighting and effects, to do their art. And so it's kind of a symbiotic way of working. They do their thing. They show us what they are doing, and we can adjust the animation accordingly. Sorry, that's the same thing. So here it's going to be for the mockup process. There's lots of similarities in the process, but obviously the mockup is the new thing. So start from previs, then you shoot your references. So that's me doing the monkey here. We do lots of takes. And then we have this process of reviewing the FBX. That's an FBX file. And so you see doing over and over. And so we select it, we export it, the section that we like, in the software. Then there's a process of readjustment to fit with the frame range of the shot. A cleaning pass as well, because mockup comes with lots of mess, lots of curves which are jumping, or some spikes. So you need to clean that to have the better result, the best result. Sorry, and then yeah, you do your adjustments essentially with animation layers on top of your mockup base, tweaking pass after pass, and for that aspect, it's very similar to the hand keyframe animation. So yeah, let's go through a setup of a scene. So I'm starting by opening the interface of REALTIME. Somebody has prepared a scene for me. On this one, I'm going to open my first scene, which is basically the first iteration of the scene. Here we go. Yeah, whatever. And then it asks me if I want to use the auto update. Yes, yes, yes. And first thing, I'm setting up my viewport the way I want it, even though it's not going to work exactly how I want. Just, as I said, usually I've got my split mode, but well, didn't do it this time. Setting up the camera, and then going straight to my beautiful object editor to get the right node for displaying the character in the scene and the environment when it's necessary. So currently, we don't see it in the view because the character is far away from the camera. So I'm splitting my view to get a bigger view of where Violet is, and I'm noticing that she's got her coat, so I'm going to remove it for faster display. Here we go. All right, here she is. So now I can select my global controller and adjusting the performance to be in the right spot so we can see her in the camera, because that's the goal eventually. So it takes a bit of time, especially for goofy animators. Here we go. Shift it. Yep, almost there. Don't be shy. Yes, you can do it. Well done. All right, almost. So you see, it's not straight to the right performance. She's out of frame now. All right, well, let's try again. Okay, you can see here, super. All right, let's see how it plays now. She's far at the beginning. All right, let's do again an adjustment. That's better. Yeah, we're getting there. Here we go. Okay, so that's the mockup framed. So next stage will be, if I'm fast enough, yeah, that's the thing I need to change of animation. As PowerPoint is limited in the size of the video. Here we go. So now we start the proper animation phase. Exciting time. I select all my controllers. I create an animation layer. As I'm a good boy, I'm naming it properly. And I'm going to identify which part is good to preserve. All right, that looks okay. Pretty cool. Let's set a key. So I'm using my K. Yep. All right, and I'm going to the ugly pose. That's ugly. And I'm setting a keyframe as well on that. So I know that I'm going to preserve whatever I'm adjusting on this pose. That's my way of working. I like to do poses after poses. And then I go into iteration. But at first, I'm having a global approach of the shot. And then I start to chisel, to craft my pose to make it clearer, more dynamic, whatever. Well, here is just a quick demonstration, but you'll get an idea of the thing. Selecting my spine because it's a bit over curved, having a bit of adjustment. So I'm creating a selection set called spine. So if I need to go back onto it, it's quickly selectable. Doing a few adjustments, okay, a bit on the head, all right, yeah, kind of okay, all right. So I'm hiding the controllers now just to have a better view of what's happening in the frame. So scrubbing the timeline, is it flowing okay? Yeah, that's okay. Whoopla, what's going on at the end? She's looking at the plane, so it's not what I want. I'm gonna have to do a bit of work here. Damn. So selecting my controller, I can select them through the animation layer. So again, another way to go to the points to select what I want. So I like to reuse some work. So I'm tempting a small experience by reusing some curves I've got at some points and trying to put them where it was faulty, but it's still not doing what I want. Another experience, will it work? Nope. So unfortunately, I have to adjust this pose. I will do it by hand. Here we go. Yeah, look at us. See, we are pretty, huh? Is it better now? So, yeah, next stage, I guess. No. Hiding my controllers again. And I create a flipbook to see how it flows, because the first browse on the timeline was relatively convincing. And I see how it looks like, so it takes a bit of time, but it's fairly fast. How is that? For a 5-minute job. Not too bad, there's some pops there and there, and my spine is quite painful. Osteopathy on the way. Yeah, we changed the silhouette. There's lots of stuff. And she's got a pants, don't worry. There's no crack on her trouser. So, where are we now? Did I finish? Yes, I did. Yeah, good. Okay. So, this big shift from Maya to Houdini, the challenge is, obviously, the learning curve was very steep, very scary at first, but with those tutorials I've mentioned earlier, progressively I got up to speed. It took me a bit of time, but once I was there, it was it was kind of okay. And the big thing was this learning of the node editor approach, which is very different from what I was used in Maya, even though there's something similar in Maya, but it's not really used the same way. I feel the display approach could be improved, so there might be some way to do it. So again, it's a guy who has touched it for 1 month. Huh? So maybe some of you will say, of course, Nico, of course it's there. But that has been a bit difficult to always go into the node editor to display my stuff. But it's doable. The big problem as well is you come from 20 years using a package and shifting to something else, a new software, and you don't have the same habits. So the shortcuts, essentially, where to click, where to find your tools, and sometimes even the behavior of the tools. So personally, I use extensively the animation layers for many things which are out of what an animation layer is supposed to do. I got my little tips and tricks, my little magic art, and it didn't behave necessarily the same way on Houdini, but again, it's open to discussion with side effects to see how that could be implemented. The gizmo, as I mentioned at the beginning, this global gizmo, I think it can be improved as well. No criticism, but there's some range of improvement there. But then once you know this tick button that can allow you just to isolate the type of transformation, you're in better position. I didn't like that I was dependent on the TDs. I like to do my stuff and not annoying people, can work at my pace, but I had to often call for the help and support from Sam and Abe, and I apologize for the annoyance that has been, but it is what it is. So hopefully in the future, they will feel like, is he working or what? He's not bugging us. And I hope I'm gonna be a master of my sins. And yes, I've discovered some tools on the late, and some of them while I was doing this preparation of lecture, which is like, if I knew, and I miss my some scripts from Maya, even though I'm not using too many scripts. So that was actually something positive for me. So I'm not relying too much on tools. So the switch was relatively easy on that aspect. And yes, regarding our rig, I wanted to have some adjustments. One thing you need to know is we didn't have space switch. So for those who are animators, not having space switch can be quite problematic when you want to preserve, for instance, your head orientation, and you want to craft your spine to have the silhouette you want. Well, every time I was modifying my spine, the head was going with it, so it was lots of counter-animating. But that's something, again, we learn for future projects or for future iteration of this one, hopefully. We will take that into consideration. Now comes the benefit. So side effects will be happy about this page. So there's many aspects which are similar between Maya and Houdini. So often I felt like, well, actually I'm doing this thing quite comfortably. Very surprising. Even some behaviors of windows or some shortcuts felt like, oh yeah, I'm at home actually. The selection set, beautiful. I can't talk enough about it. It's simple, but it's very well designed and very flexible, very clear. Love it. Yes, something I didn't mention, but the baking process of the layer. So you saw my scene, my messy scene with 50 layers. You merge the layers in a snap. So that's really good. Yeah, I didn't talk about it because I jumped a page. Super. Yeah, because I wanted to show you the mess of the animation curves using the area filter to clean that, and then you still have the spikes. So, but yeah, forget about it. Anyway, the baking process, yeah, is super fast. So that's a big plus. So you can be quite flexible in your workflow in animation, creating layers. Even if you got a big timeline, it should smash it. And something I haven't covered here, but it's a really great way of a plus from Houdini is something called the global transformation mode. So you select several controllers, and the last one you pick will be your pivot point. So for that, you need to use the Control Shift at the same time. You start to rotate, and it's going to rotate around the last object, which can be really practical if you want to do some global shift, or when she was actually jumping on the car, adjusting the global silhouette was super fast and efficient. The constraint system, that's something as well I was supposed to talk about. It's really clear as well. It's very it works as well through a bookmark system. So same as we've seen earlier. Once you select the frame range of where you want to apply this constraint, it's displayed on your timeline. It's very flexible and it updates quite quickly. The good thing as well is the display aspect of it. So when you select the object you want to constrain and then the master, and you apply this constraint, it displays an arrow which tells you exactly what is involved in the constraint and the direction. So on some softwares like Maya, it can be quite foggy about this aspect. So this is a good way to know. Yeah, I really liked as well the approach of the viewports, the lighting settings, very efficient and easy to access. The display filters as well. It's a small thing, but when it's there, you appreciate it. And the options that were available on the flipbook, very, very good, as I mentioned earlier. Well, so as a conclusion, here we go, almost the end of this one. Yeah, so something which struck me when I was doing this presentation is I found a sort of metaphor, some similarity between what's going on in this show and my experience of Houdini. So imagine that I'm Violet, yeah, with blue hair, hiding in my corner, knowing that I have to tackle down this mission of doing this short movie, but I've got no time. I don't know the software. And imagine this drone being this deadline coming, approaching, chasing me. So I run away. Oh gosh, I need my knowledge. I need my shots done, so run. And then I've got it. So I drop my bomb and bang, finish the deadline. It's there. And I turn back and I'm smiling because I'm happy. It's done. Mission accomplished. So the moral of this story is that when there's a will, there's a way, as they say in England. And it's been challenging, but considering that I knew nothing of that software a month ago, and we managed to get this piece, I think we've achieved something quite good, and it should be a motivation for the people who want to jump in animation on Houdini to know that yeah, there is a journey. It's not going to be necessarily easy, but it is doable, and you can achieve great results. And knowing that there's still lots of things we need to discover, and I believe there's some new version that will come this year, which should fix some issues or enhance some of them. It opens great potential, and it's a good motivation. So basically, I'm happy to carry on further experiences on Houdini. Yeah, let's maybe review our little piece in the lights of this presentation, and you have a better understanding of what's going on there. go. So a little presentation of the team which has worked on this show. Unfortunately, I don't have everyone, so Alex and Ruben, big apologize. I'm looking at the camera. But it's a small team. Not everyone is an artist on this team, but they all had their inputs to deliver this lovely piece. And it's another opportunity to mention about the Level Up program by our mighty Sam Taylor. So if you want to be part of it, either scan this barcode, QR code, or have a chat with us, or just contact us at the office. We are thriving to get new talents and motivated people. Here we go. I'm done. Question time.
Excellent work. Any questions? Yeah.
I saw like you use a lot of anim layers, right, to approach.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little. So I remember at 2014 or 15, I was working with Carlitos with the Softimage. Was the first time I was using that software, and I remember he had a bug like I was losing all the anim layers. So you can end up losing all your animation. So after that, I got a bit of a scare of the anim layers. So then after a year, so I was working in Maya, so it was okay, not anything weird happened. So my question is, how do you find the anim layer in Houdini? Because I saw them, but I was scared to use it. So can you tell me more about like?
Well, first of all, they don't bite, so be cool with them. They love you, in fact. No, for me, it's really essential on my workflow, and that's something I really recommend for my team, and particularly when using motion capture data. You know how dense that can be with a keyframe per frame. So it is an essential part of a workflow with motion capture. I did not have any problem with them. I've heard that for some people it was crashing. Fortunately, I mean, Houdini has crashed a few times during the show, I have to tell you, but not because of the animation layer. But you know, it's always the same thing. Once you've been confronted to some problem, you try to find ways around. So for my crashing issues, I was saving regularly and having two Houdini open. So once it was crashing, I could reload immediately my scene on the side. But yeah, the animation layers are very similar to the ones of Maya, apart from few behavior, but they are very specific. It's, again, that's something I need to speak with you guys to see if that can be replicable. But yeah, the general approach of the animation layer is very much the same. You know, you get the override or additive. You can isolate as a display. You can do the same thing. All good?
Yeah, all good. I will use it next time.
Also a question for the animation layer. I saw you had one that said adjust body. I assume that's where you did the technical cleanup of the motion capture.
Can you speak louder?
Oh, sorry. The adjust body animation layer you had, was that where you did the technical cleanup of the motion capture?
Well, that might have been just a messy way of displaying it. But yeah, I try to name my layers based on what I'm doing on them. Yeah, usually it's breakdown by either the global approach, as I mentioned earlier, or specific stuff. Yeah, just and it must have been the main adjust must have been about the translation around the scene. Is it answering your question, or am I?
Well, it's more like if you have any tools or script that you found useful for cleaning up the raw motion capture.
Yeah, for that. So yeah, in the graph editor, it's called animation editor. You have some Euler filters. It's really pity that I jumped this slide. which is like in Maya if you're familiarized with it. It's very fast as well to process. So you know how Mockup, when you look at your curves, you get some sudden jumps. This is cleaning your curves, but it still contains some defaults, some spikes. So this you get. For this one I did not explore, but apparently there's some smoothing tool which should preserve your animation, but just correct those spikes. There's a similar approach in Maya, but otherwise, you just select the few naughty keys and you just delete them, and most of the time you don't notice, so it's good this way. But nothing particularly magic, basically.
Thank you. It was really nice to see how you guys came up with all those solutions. My question is, I imagine at REALTIME at the moment, most of our projects are still based on Maya for rigging and animation. So after spending this month doing this Violet, do you have any plans to use Houdini animation on a game cinematic or an episodic project soon? And would you say what is missing to get to that point that would feel comfortable using on it?
Yeah, it's a good question. So you do research and development, you assess, and then you make decision based on that. So that was my research and development. So it's very fresh. I need first to gather with my team and talk about the experience, particularly with the other guy, Alex, see how he felt about it. Didn't have time to do that so far. And then, obviously, there's some constraints, which the main one is to do a project, you need to have the artist who can use the tool. And at the moment, for what I know, there's not enough artists in animation who can use Houdini. So that was as well a good experience to see how you can jump in, how long does it take, what sort of support you need. And if we go this way, which is something we are considering, definitely. So if we go this way, we'll need to integrate this time frame to form people and make sure they are up to speed with the tools that are available. As well, I'm counting a lot on the future version of Houdini to see what are the tools which will push further the quality. And then it's not all about my decision. I have to see with the producers, the boss mostly. So Sam would tell you that he's making as well big decisions. So because it's about money at the end of the day. So whatever help us to go faster and better, we tend to embrace it. So I'm looking positively toward Houdini, to be honest.
Oh, thank you.
Chris will be very happy about what I've just said.
I would be happy, yeah. Any other questions? I've got a question, which is, you had a slide on the benefits at the end, which was nice, but was there one thing that you're working in this thing and you're trying to figure it out and you're kind of wrestling through it a little bit? Was there one thing that you were like, whoa, that just happened, that's amazing? Like some sort of cool experience that sort of triggered like, wow, this is a really interesting way of working?
I didn't have a revolution, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I remember I had some moments where I was like, this is really cool. But maybe I'm too tired.
Yeah. Like you mentioned that global transform, that maybe was one of those things.
Yeah, well, to be honest, yes. The animation layers, the baking stuff, I was like, what? Is it already done? So that's something when you are used to see your timeline going frame by frame and waiting, especially at the moment we're working on a big show, which is heavily Mockup, and the animators, they keep complaining about the time it takes to bake their animation layers. So I'd be really curious to test the software in similar conditions to see if this very impressive speed of the baking would be continuing on a system, on a heavier system, basically.
Cool. Well, thank you, Nico, for being part of this project, for taking it on, for letting Alex go be a dad, and to give us the perspective of a traditionally Maya animator to take on this process and see how it works for you. So I'm super glad that Sam brought you into it, and thank you for taking us through the presentation today.
Thank you very much. That was very nice. Thank you, everyone.